Good evening, everybody. This is Bev, and this is the Bev D Show. Today is February 20th, 2019, and very excited to be doing the show again. I was out last week, and then I kind of had a hiccup a couple of weeks ago, and just want to get back on track and be doing the show, on a regular basis as I was in the beginning. That's the thing when you're first starting out and you get the ability to be able to do that kind of thing, where, it's flexible and it's not hardcore. But, I've received some messages and things like that of people saying, hey, I've been listening to your podcast, and listening to some of the older shows and everything, and just looking forward to you getting back to doing the live thing. I mean, we're in a different age where you can listen to this at any given time. You can download this, you can like this show, you can follow this show. It's just completely different. It's my dream of having been on radio, so this is my pretend radio show, and hopefully one day, I already am receiving some messages from people where, maybe I've inspired them, or maybe I've, helped them along the way with some of the things that I've gone through. But if you wanted to call into the show, you certainly can. The number is 330-752-8409. Again, 330-752-8409. I always like to open the show. I'm always amazed at, the different places that listeners come from. And some of them, are beyond my friends and family. And while I appreciate my friends and family, it's kind of like selling insurance. That's the first list that they want from you is your friends and family. So I really do appreciate it and love that. My friends and family are listening, but we also have some people that have messaged, and we've got North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. We've got some people that listen on their own, on the road, even a couple of days after I've done the show live. So I really do appreciate that. But, we've got some folks in Ashland, Columbus, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, Akron, Cleveland, Milwaukee friends. We've got people all the way out in Colorado. And of course, we've got some folks that are close, that have messaged me that are in Chicago. So thank you very much for listening. I'm always appreciative and super appreciative of the, maybe the messages that show up here. You can actually, chat if you're at, your phone or your computer. You can send a little note there. Although I'm so new at this, I'm not sure I would actually know what to do with it, and how to respond back, because it's all new to me. We are putting together some different things that are going to make the show a little bit more exciting, some things that are near and dear to my heart. One of them, especially music. And you've got your limitations when you are doing a show like this. And of course, I can't play different songs that I love that are from my past and things like that, because, you got to pay, respectfully, the licenses and things like that. As you're getting started. But it's been an interesting week for me, to say the least. Just to kind of update people that might be listening that haven't listened before, I am a mother of three beautiful daughters. They're in their young 20s, and really proud of that legacy and what I've done there. And beyond that, just kind of getting back into my career. And I'm a sales recruiter and trainer, and I absolutely love that. It's my dream job. But I'm also a writer. I write children's stories, poetry, inspirational, articles that, are never read, all that kind of good stuff. But writer at heart, been talking and writing and telling stories for quite some time. But one of the things that I am certainly is, I've grown to be very independent. And what I mean by that is not just so liberated and things like that. It's because I had to. And this is not a sob story. This is just who I am. And I've been around for years where I was, the one that took care of everything, all of it. The house, cooking, cleaning, going to work, just 100% independent. And something happened to me that totally humbled me this past week, and I fell. And there was a show before this where I slipped and fell in my own house, and I broke my little toe, and I kind of squeezed it back together and taped it up, and I was all good, and everything was fine. But a few weeks after that, then I went on a visit with my daughters, and we were out celebrating, and I was walking and dancing and fell. And did something what was called fractured my fibula, right? My right ankle. And however minor that sounds, it totally shut me down. I can't drive, couldn't walk, I'm learning crutches, I'm doing all this kind of stuff. So it was I know it sounds very minor as to some of the other people that have shared their problems with me and their ailments. And it's almost embarrassing to say that I had a fractured, bone, because I do know some people that are in very serious dire straits as far as their health and everything. But what it did is it shut me down to a point to where, not emotionally, yeah, I threw my fit and I was, frustrated because, now I can't walk like I normally would, get up and walk. Now I can't drive. Now I can't do this, and I'm wearing this big old boot that is, triple the size of what my foot would be, and it's awkward and in the way and stuff. But I just had to sit down one day and just say, okay, those are things that I can't do. Okay, fine, walk through that fire, but what can I do? And so just started looking at some of the blessings in my life. I can still talk, I can still write, I can still socialize, and I can love. And I can love unconditionally. And I still have that ability to do that, even though I'm in pain and I'm, having to relearn how to. I literally, it's my right foot, and I literally had to figure out how to tell my left foot to move when I needed it to, because, we just take so much for granted and how our beautiful bodies work. And we do. We get up when we walk, we get up and we, you do things with our hands and stuff like that. But so many people have said to me, sometimes when things are taken away from us, that, that's when we get to take a look back and appreciate what we do or we don't have, or what we wish that we had. So it's a real nice time of reflection and such. But what I also had to do was be humbled to the point of accepting the help. And I have a very, very dear friend that has come into my life and has just literally, with full force, 100% patience, taken on everything. I mean, from, the small things, the little things that you take for granted around the house, including taking out my dog Tanner, who is still a puppy, so, you kind of got to follow his lead. Cooking, that's another passion of mine, can't do that. Cleaning my house, I like a tidy home, and just not being able to just, kind of maneuver around, squat down and start dusting and all that kind of stuff. So what some people might see as a chore is something that I really take a lot of pride in having a very tidy home, and, stuff like vacuuming, all that silly stuff. But he has really taken over and taken the lead on this, and I truly have never met anybody, honestly, more patient in my life. In all of the times that I realized that I did get up and down from a sofa to get this. Oh, shoot, I forgot that. Oh, I got to go get this. And he has just totally put on that hat and has taken over, and really, really so blessed, so appreciative of his help, as well as my oldest daughter. So I live about an hour and a half from Columbus, and we were visiting there, and my oldest daughter, she needed to get me back home because she has a life and a job and all that good stuff. She had to drive back in a snowstorm, and she drove me through the snowstorm to get me here, and then she had to turn right back around and do the same on her own. And you really look at, it's really rough sometimes, but you really look at those daughters or sons that you've raised, and you just realize they are women and men. and they just kind of take over and take care of. And I'm just really appreciative of that. If you're a new listener, yeah, sometimes I get choked up. But just being able to tell the universe and anybody who might listen to this show just how proud I really am and how blessed I am. So I wanted to open up with that, and just thank those people, my daughters, and those people that are, near and dear to my heart, that are have really stepped up and taken care of me. And it's not going to be not recognized. It really shows me, I know how much I appreciate that. So we all get an opportunity to give every day, and just doing that, it validates us and our humanity and our purpose, instead of just, going through routines and things like that on a daily basis. Some things like this can wake us up, and maybe we can help out. And there certainly are a lot of people out there that need help, that there might be like myself, that it's often afraid to ask or accept help. And it isn't that I'm a very kind-hearted and soft-hearted person and everything, and it isn't that I'm stubborn or anything like that. Maybe there's a little bit of that in there, but I had this mentality of, I just don't want to put anyone out. I just don't want to inconvenience them. And my daughter's entire Sunday was spent taking me to urgent care. Then she had to get me to her house. Then she had to get me home. They fed me, all this stuff. And it was just like, that's her Sunday. And so I felt pretty bad about that. But no matter how people repeat and tell you, over and over again, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this. This is going to be fine. No matter what level of pain or discomfort or thing that may happen to you, we will get through it. And I, definitely would do that for someone else, but I just was having a hard time accepting it myself. So, humble, humility. So, that's what's been going on. I'm very blessed I get to work from home. Very, very, very blessed that this, we got to find out what goes on next and all that good stuff. Don't need surgery. So, I know that there's many people that could possibly relate to that story. As far as, it's hard to accept help, but it truly is. The Bible says where there are two. So if we can let go, let God, and accept another person in our life to help out, that's the universe talking. Everybody's working together. You just got to open up your heart and your mind to be able to accept it. And that's something that I had to do and have. So it was a great learning week. Okay, so through this process, there's a couple of things that have happened, and, I'm going to mention a couple of names here and stuff. And so whether you like them or not, you got to kind of look at a couple of people that I'm going to be talking about. We went through our Super Bowl, and, people, got the New England thing going on. Oh, they always win. Oh, they're cheaters. Oh, they're this or that, But I became obsessed for many reasons. I always like to look into people that I consider successful, and what are they doing. And this week has certainly opened up and given me an opportunity to do that. Just kind of look at some different, doing some research and things. And people like to say things about Tom Brady. They love to say, oh, he cheats or this or that, but I found out in my research, this is somebody that works pretty darn hard. And, obviously, if you know anything about football, which I don't, again, I study more about the successful people that, and what is their backstory and what do they do, and found out he is one of the hardest working people in football. And, he has a regimen, and everybody, kind of makes fun of, the health regimen that that he's in, and that sort of thing. But, I actually look at, how do I put this? Why are people calling him GOAT? Why is he, the greatest of all time? And makes that person, people love to, they say different things about these people. They love